I stream daily, almost daily on twitch.tv/canister_mtg, so be sure to visit that if you would like to catch some of my live content. Kahira the Orphan Guard. I'll keep against Kahira, I'll play turn 1 Forest. We'll meet again. Oh no, it's the fucking Narset guy. Narset control guy. I hate it. It's a broken deck. Narset blue-white. Mystic Gate. Wow. Gonna have Vesuva a Saga, honestly. And I'll make a construct. Lines up well against Planeswalkers. Could swing Growth Chamber to make a construct. Like maybe Chamber bounce the other. Chamber is not too bad. One more Saga copy? That sounds unnecessary. Because then like I waste a construct from this anyways. I'm gonna have triple Amulet available, so I force my opponent to act, or I... How does Amulet feel against Yogg? It's fine if you don't... If you're not too scared, then it's actually great. You can force him to tap out for a verdict, really. Is it important to make another construct, or should I just maybe float and play the ring to force him to act? Since they hit the amulet. Hardcast Soul is on their way for them, but I think I prefer it this way. They have to counter this ring, so they can't binding the amulet or like a construct. They're gonna take 12 next turn. They need to do something about that. And I have double amulet set up. Well, I guess it's just lethal if I make a construct. So they have to like... But they can bind an amulet to for it not to be lethal. I don't know. I'll attack. This roll you can copy an amulet for lethal, yeah. Dress down, main deck, what the fuck? Ja pierdolę, main deck dress down. Co za typ? Dress down. Dress down. Now I'm weak to a removal spell on an army. Like, just the entire plan falters when they could have answered all of the constructs for 2 mana the entire time.
He's a phenomenal.
Well, I guess if they had it earlier, then it's a good thing I didn't commit to making another construct. We still got just 1 life, but I feel we could sequence it better. Yeah, try sequencing better around a dress down. You can't really, like, you don't really have much luxury of sequencing here. Explore, play Forest, copy Amulet, play SCG, get Dryad and return Forest. I think I had my reason, but I don't remember anymore. 1, 2, 3, 8, 11, 12. 12 mana? I think. Pięć, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't think I want to Pact. When they had open mana, they had to, like, keep the mana up later. Am I drinking coffee? It's Monster Energy drink. I never drink coffee. Choose Slayers Stronghold. Do I use Elesh Norn? No. But I wish. But as like a competitive card, Elesh Norn and Amulet is kind of a little bit of a meme. Being a non-green card always comes with a certain degree of uncastability, and also like she's like only really good against 4-color. But even then, not really, like, kinda. I guess she's good in the middle, which is also a reason not to play it, because as an Amulet player you should support other Amulet players and you should not make it harder for your buddies. Now I dress down, I know. Come on, dress down again. Third main deck dress down, let's go. It's also kind of funny to use Primeval Titans and Valakuts to kill an opponent who's at 1 life. It feels like... doesn't really feel like using appropriate measure, right? You could just gutshot them or lava dart them. They're like, nope. I'll do it my own way. I guess I'll die to like some ways if my opponent survives, but going to counter this. You know, those two. Tishana plus Soul Tutor, some shit.
He's a phenomenal
Yeah,
control
I mean, they
player.
don't play Tishana straight binder
5
in
years of
their
pepperoni
deck.
canny back chest.
Memory Deluge, oof. I was afraid it's gonna be something relevant. Subtlety 2. Do you notice 2 lethal creatures on board? Subtlety is covered. Okay, finally. Finally, and we board in 3 defense grinds and second Colossus, but it's not even clear that the second Colossus is actually useful, given that my opponent is possibly a Narset deck, so there is a chance I'll cut the second Colossus from the sideboard. But I'd like to cast real monsters versus subtlety, so it's close. It's also like a dress down spam deck, so it's not even board the second Colossus. Also nutritious, I later clarified that I tried out Greed, thought about it more, and realized that it's pretty good. Maybe Ent as an extra monster. No, I mean Ent. No. Ent doesn't kill. Control. What's the worst matchup for Amulet in the new meta game? Marinos? I don't know if it's Renos. But I guess, yeah, sure it's Renos. Thank you for a green source, my friend. Could copy Amulet. Seem to lose to Rhinos when you play against it. Fair. Copy Amulet, I still play Spelunking on the next turn. Yeah, I guess. Sure, that's fine too, we keep the land. With that logic, every deck is a bad matchup for Canister. Bros, lately I've been hitting 1876 ELO on Magic Online, so it's just no longer true. Is it true that only sad losers care about the ELO? No, I'm not too sad. If this resolves, I go Valakut, haste. But opponent is clearly dress downing. Okay. Am I the best player at my age? I don't know. No, Zerk is my age. What's that? Tefari? Narset? Could you haste there? How do I haste there? Like, I don't know, could I? Let me count. Slayers Stronghold. 2 mana. Activation. Valakut produces 1 mana. Damn, doesn't quite cut it. You can copy Amulet still. No, it's only you control. Dress down. Can still haste, right? Because yeah, they all have the types. Just kill the fairy, avoid instant speed verdicts, or like anything like that. Have 2 Valakuts and a Dryad in place, so that's pretty solid. Worst case, my opponent goes Narset. Oh no. Narset into Days Undoing right now. Leyline Binding on this, that's fine. We have 4 cards left. Binding is so medium, Boseiju is a pain. Yeah, it makes Boseiju into a threat. No 10, now you're confusing it with another interaction. Actually, you're thinking of Magus of the Moon. This probably should be in play. So Dresdown just never interacts with Dryad's land type granting ability because it happens in an earlier layer than Dresdown removing abilities does. And with Magus of the Moon, if both are in play, it's timestamps. Depends which one came the earliest. Yeah, Oko turning Magus into an elk doesn't revert your lands into normal cards either. Oh no. Always yes to Valakut. Modo doesn't always yes to Valakut. It feels like bleed that they have a counter spell. So I would probably rather haste Dryad. So the Tolaria West probably shouldn't have been played last turn, given that I was happy to draw one and transmute for Boseiju. And all of that. Circle Shark Typhoon, okay. Why didn't I Titan? Well, I just said I would rather haste a Dryad because it seems probably the same. Like if Dryad lives, I kill my opponent anyways, so maybe I can Primeval Titan to force them to spend mana and counterspell and not on circling Shark Typhoon. Next turn I can transmute for Cavern. I don't have Cavern in my deck. Not that it would help against somebody with 10,000 Dresdowns. How do people win with Yawgmoth? It's so hard. Da Vinci 2 days ago. Damn, Yawgmoth best deck. It will demolish everyone in the new metagame. Okay, is that's your play? Davinki today. How do people win with Yawgmoth? Deck doesn't do anything. Yeah, yeah, sure. Turn 1 Grazer into Saga, the fountain, make construct. Not too bad. By which I mean turn 1 Grazer into Saga. Basic Island. Ryszard and Dokhan. O kurka. Be careful not to play any islands. Would Magic be better without flavor text? Probably not. I guess. Probably better to play Forest, because Tolaria West can untap twice to play Titan a turn. Earlier if my next show is, for example, Mycosynth Gardens or another Forest. Or a Saga. This reminds me that while reviewing MH2 Canister, was surprisingly optimistic about the Merfolk deck. I was, yeah. Also maybe I should have fetched them up with Saga, given that I drew Amulet, but I think double Amulet just is good. It's good against Tishana's Straight Binder if my opponent ever summons that, which probably will happen. And it's also useful in the future if I draw a bounce land. I guess Dockhand can tap Saga before it gets its second chapter next turn. I haven't killed anyone with constructs, but 2 games in a row where... Like, I haven't killed anyone with constructs in a while, but 2 games in a row, we're actually doing pretty significant damage with them. I guess it's that with Scam I was just mainly playing against Scam, and against Scam I just always played Saga turn 1 to get my Amulet the fastest before Blood Moon happened. How many Dress Downs does Merfolk play? Well, they could play some in the sideboard, they probably wouldn't though. And I expect 0 main deck. Why aren't they playing spells? What do you mean? They played Risha on Dockhand. I guess it's a bit weird, like, yeah, that's all they played. It's a good matchup. I have to think so. Bad matchup now. They did their thing. Nice. No Force of Vigor or Blood Moon / Charmo. Well, I mean, not like Charmo is an excellent anti-amulet card. It's probably a vile deck, I don't want defense grid. I'd rather have removal actually. I don't know if I want full free explosives. Key canister, why not spelunking mine? Well, let's flip your question. Why spelunking mine? Question mark. He is super effective against them. Yeah, I don't know if it's super effective. They haven't played any cards, so like game 1, so if they follow that trend, then it's not really all that effective if they don't play anything, right? What I think spelunking is good at is beating Force of Vigor and just kind of interaction, enhanced interaction. I don't find it great game 1 because it sometimes can interfere with double amulet draws. Vile makes grid Pepija, that's why I boarded an Explosives and no grid. Nice hand. Stone is against what? Question mark. Jogmod, Living End. Should we trim the one rings against counterspell heavy decks? Why? It's like, what is your plan? What do you want to do against a... Like, what's the thing that you want to do against a counterspell heavy deck? Do you want to resolve your cards or not? Or do you like want not to resolve them? Because if you want to resolve your cards, then trimming the cards that you need to resolve, it's kind of counterproductive, right? Because you're gonna end up not resolving anything. So wouldn't you want more threatening cards if your opponent is threatening to counter some of them? Especially 4 mana ones that are cheaper than Titans, so you can play them earlier. I think you should. Is Cavern of Souls not good anymore? Blue interaction is roughly like... There's probably less counterspell, and this is non-creature? Yeah, non-creature. Blue interaction is varied, and... Yeah, Cavern covers only counterspell, but people also have subtlety and dress down. Well, I don't have Caverns called on now, so that wouldn't work. But also, like, Merfolk is... How many counters is it gonna have? I don't know how heavy of a counterspell deck it is. It could also be argued that they have Force of Negation post-board, they still stretches them a bit harder in sideboarding, so I'm not mad to have the ring also negotiated. I start suspecting Fury wasn't the card holding Merfolk down. One could say so, yeah. I also like how user Zoigul 5-6 1 2 said that Merfolk plays 0 real counters as soon, and like immediately my opponent puts a Force of Negation on the stack. Good trade binder. Phone is not a real counter. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually lots of damage. Subtlety is unfair. Bros Fury wouldn't do Jack. Do you think they actually play Vial? I think I still prefer EE than Grid. Guess what their deck looks like. Aye. Fine, fine. What matchup is the Ent for? Ent is more forests when Blood Moon, more hard-castable creatures when getting Subtlety, more lands when you cut Saga. And Believer Estemiush, what happened? They have Subtlety in hand. Maybe. Do you think whoever designed the bounce lands imagined this could happen? Probably not. Do you think anyone who designed Amulet of Vigor has expected that to happen? Probably not. Do you think they knew what was coming when they designed Sunhome, Fortress of the Legion? No! I mean, that's fine. Still get to play Titan. Subtlety dodging. Yep. That was your other card. Bro, you dodged Subtlety. Whoa! I mean, was it like my other card I kept on a mulligan? T-West was bottom. I mean, I know, I just like... Point is like tilting that, oh, last card Titan. Like, of course it's the last card Titan because I played the rest of my cards. The play and draw is miles different, away different, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Have you ever done that to dodge Subtlety IRL? I haven't, but maybe I should. What's this? It's probably Valakut. Creativity. It's nothing. This is, by the way, misstacking of the triggers. Like, yes, ever so slightly. It's not Fury for sure. KKV. Bro, that's so funny. Point only plays creativity. Okay. Oh, very so creative of them. Haha. Why not win? I'm scared of funny white remand. I think I played against this player, at least with the Teferi avatar, and I've had funny remand cast against me, so don't want to Pacts and die to funny remand. Or like Boseiju on a bounce land, that, like, just because they Pact. And if they miss a land drop, if I play the ring and the ring resolved, there's no way I lose to anything normal from them. They have creativity, so I think the only out is to die to my Pact for them, so. Well, this one creativity player came out. Hit Amulet, okay. Co ja dobrałem bułka? Boros Garrison. Co teraz dobrałem? Amulet. Ty didn't pierce the amulet? I love it how you set Valakut triggers to always yes, and what happens immediately after? Modo says, hey, do you want to actually use your trigger? Caster wins, curious. Oh no, that player was playing Elishnorn, and I have no Elishnorn outs now. I guess I can play explosives and explosives with X5. That for sure is gonna work. Swim before I get to 5 mana, or 4 with creativity. They have elephants as well. What elephants? Trasodon? The elephant in the room, lol, got him. I see. Sand probably sucks against creativity. This is much better. I play out Amulet and it gets boss binder, it's really bad. But if I don't play it, then I don't play Dryad. So I think realistically I should just play it. It's really hard to it's gonna be really hard to play around binding. Maybe they just play Ren. Preordain. Can pass and use Grazer on next turn. It's really hard to do that. And I still like expose the Amulet because I still don't have protection for it, and I also can get spell pierced. Wait, so actually can I just win? Copy Amulet. Have 1 green. Return bounce land. Probably should copy Amulet, honestly. No, probably not. Because they didn't have binding. 2 bottom. One mana away from casting Titan this turn, but I think what we should do... We can win. No gdzie, no jak? They can't bind. Well, but how do I win? Like, sure. Just don't have the mana to win. Like, that's the issue. I don't have 6 mana. If I go Gardens, copy Amulet, then I have 1 green, I go Grazer, I have 4 mana, I play Dryad, I go to 5 mana. So what we do instead is and I keep Grazer in hand, I think. The chances of double Amulet. Their play is gonna be Binding, Teferi, Hold Up Remand, or Fable. Fable and Teferi are irrelevant and just lose. Hold Up Remand just loses. Oj, tofu, nie wylewaj herbaty. See box stopper Amulet available on Modo, maybe, but I find it to be ugly. Teferi just loses. Because we kept Grazer. I like the Illuminati vibes of the original. I'm getting rid of my OGs for box stoppers. Cringe, brother. I mean, I guess you do like whatever you want to, but... So full. They're very dead, right? I don't know about very, they're just dead. No buffing Grazer. -1 comedy stat. Do da da da. What's my breakfast? It's toasty z szynką i serem. Nice Vesuva target. It's probably gonna be Saga, Vesuva Saga though. Because this is Rhinos, probably. Well, maybe it's Living Endos. Then we can discard Beast next turn. By going Grove Chamber Return Saga. Deck history had Le. Okay. Yeah, seems like Le. So just no grief right now and it's gonna be okay. What I changed in my diet since I recently started winning again, I just stopped playing shitty decks like Beans and I decided to only play good decks I like. How are we discarding? Well, I'll show you. Legacy is so easy. It's insane. New card. Wow. There were no instant speed cascade cards. Would Rhinos and Le still be good? Way less good. Obserwowanych 2, obserwujących 22. Dark Depths is legal in the Liga lease format. It is cool to tutor for what card without putting a spell on the stack that can be directed via boards of fill. Gaze Cradle is also legal in the same format. It's a good Magic the Gathering card. Yeah, it seems in like not connected. Thing about the 1 mana free forest that eventually gets you 2020. The floor to ceiling on the card is really good. You sound like a take it slow. You sound like a Legacy gamer who's been like Legacy pilled to. Wow, they're actually doing it. It's fine. Like you want to win from this spot, maybe you can. I guess I only have 2 lands in hand, but 2. Grzesiek Sigurd frequently posts and comments after my posts and says that I'm gonna need a bigger bait, but it always kind of sounds like he doesn't really understand the concept of baiting or the purpose of my tweets. I'm just asking an honest question. So I'm going to mute. Deck like Depths is almost always a 3/4 that usually acts as another Knight of the Reliquary. But like Knight of the Reliquary is not exactly high price to me either. I'm not sure that posting a screenshot from that position of a deck that can easily invalidate a card lends to a lot of good faith to questioning its playability. Okay. Albus Reclaimer is the reason Cradle Control exists. The first fork in the road from the traditional elves was cutting Nettle for Reclaimer to find Cradle more consistently. Saying Reclaimer is garbage and the archetype is ignorant and honestly pretty disrespectful. True. I guess it makes sense that Legacy is so free then, reading those comments. I really admire the Reanimator sideboard you made. I snapped sold my Show and Tells. Yeah, Show and Tell is horrible. I also liked it a lot. It works pretty well for me. I also put Wastelands in the sideboard for a Prelim yesterday and 4-out too and felt pretty decent about them. So I think I recommend Wastelands too. But not super sure yet. Can keep, can discard Titan. Yeah, it was my sideboard. I mean, I've seen Doffy Voidwalkers in the sideboards before, but after playing a little bit and thinking a little bit, I just realized how I want my deck to look post-board against blue decks, and since that I haven't been losing against blue gamers. People have put literally thousands of hours into making Cradle Control the deck that it is. It has results. It has good results at major tournaments. It's definitely not the best thing to be doing, but it's a meta deck. Saying that the card the deck is built around is bad in the deck just means you haven't lost to it yet because it's small meta share. Well, I haven't lost to it yet because it's... But, like, the reason might not be the small meta share. Actually. Big board for my Titan to tackle, but... Guess they can build a bigger one because I'll play Stone of Erech next turn. Overgrown Tomb. Stay playing Troll. One land Living End. Not even calling a deck bad. The deck is maybe fine, whatever. It's just the card is embarrassing in my games. Stone of Erech notably not a core mod script. Maybe the only way to understand is to play the deck yourself. Perhaps, but the desire to understand is not large enough in me to play it myself. I would rather be ignorant and play Reanimator. Can you show the answers to your Reclaimer tweet? I don't have X, unfortunately. Already did. That would be too much if I showed you again, so it's gonna remain secret. But most of them just say, oh, it's actually good, you don't get it. It's good against the blue decks and it fetches the 2020. Which I don't think my opponent had in their deck. Who wins if they Living End here? Take a guess. Is it the player with 4 random monsters, or is it the player who gets to fetch 2 lands, untaps, plays Dryad, plays Valakut, Vesuva, attacks with a Titan, and fetches under Vesuva and deals 18 to them? Not sure. Can also play Defense Grid first to protect the Dryad too. 4 monsters is more than 1 monster. True, but imagine that they're monsters in the sense of Monster Energy Drink. Would you chuck down 4 cans immediately? No, you wouldn't, because that would be way too much. So sometimes 1 monster is actually equal to 4 monsters because you like won't consume them immediately anyways. How would I get the Titan in the air? I was on the draw, so I played a turn 1 Valakut and turn 2 Gruul Turf, picking up a land, so I had 8 cards in my hand. I wouldn't chuck even 1 can of that poison, exactly, so 4, it's useless. Literally allergic to Monster Energy, see? Stone of Erech. Would I recommend taking the draw as Living End against Titan? Probably not. But it does play around that line a little bit. I think I do it now to clear the graveyard so like they are far away from Living Ending ever, and I can set up next turn with Fence Greed. And here I am drinking a monster. Lul lul. Crazy how coincidental it lined up. The Big Friendly Gamer 1992, thank you for the sub. And by sub I mean raid. Raid's fine too. Defense Grid, such a nice addition. Defense Grid really exceeds the expectations. I'll play it now.
He's a phenomenal control player.
Thank you for the raid, the Big Friendly Gamer 1992. It's very nice of you to raid. Just play the Amulet. They can... Well, I mean, I guess they could Force of Vigor, but... It's because 3 mana. I really like checking the energy drink subreddit because it's all about people who try to improve them by drinking them in the shower or mixing them with food. What improves then? Good grief. Alright, this is really bad, so I'm gonna skip. At least I put another Titan in my graveyard so they can't living in even harder, and I get to just play Dryad, Valakut. So they're being threatened to die. Kinda interesting how Well of Summer has pretty much faded out of modern sideboard, when it used to be in pretty much every green decks. Yeah, interesting. But, you know, what is Vel good against, right? I guess even Yawgmoth doesn't play it, which is interesting because Yawgmoth very feasibly could. But just not many decks where it actually lines up well, just the card counterspell only. Because it doesn't actually line up well against Thoughtseize. Well, it's still playable emo. Well, maybe playable, but it's not played. Interesting that they played it for... I guess they just don't plan on living ending, they just want to get the monster into play. Monster? Bro, I don't drink that poison. I mean, with scam moving to try to scam you turn 2 a lot of the time. I don't know what you're talking about. In what way is scam moving to that strat? No idea what that means. Persist builds. Maybe I'm behind on the technology, but it's probably a persist build, not persist builds, plural. Let's go, Force of Vigor, kill, kill. I keep the card grid. Okay. Oh, the 2-2 is gonna get there. Or is it? 15% of the current meta is scam addicts trying to cope. Bro, your stats sound trustworthy and real. I believe you. How do I make my opponent not mad at me for playing Dirtle Ring Control since they banned Bean? Add a Shelly/combo main. There is a blue-white Narset's Days Undoing control deck, which you can play. It doesn't kill, doesn't like actually deal damage fast, but it locks with Narset. Like, not that, it's not that slow at locking with Narset, so. It's fine to see Black-White Scam getting forced into existence. Bros, Black-White Scam was a deck in like day 1 of Modern Horizons. It's just the issue with it is that it's crap. Point getting hoisted by their own petard. Also, it's kind of funny that Generous Ent makes a person trapped in web as the token. Mountain Dew. I banned the Mountain Dew bots because it sounded like a scam. Cam is good, yeah. Cam is so fun. Christ. O Jezus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I draw a card. In my scam deck. What about you, bro? Yeah, cup full of cam is impressive. Masz kurwa gonga na czapę od Enta. Play Troll of Khazad-dûm, 2 Otawaras. Bro. Defense grid actually, I think it works really well with like the overall plan, with discarding monsters against them. Yo, WTF is that song? School emoji, school emoji, school emoji. For real, school emoji. Music, what is it, bros? Yeah. Yet I decide to ditch caverns completely since defense grid is sufficient versus control and Merktide decks. Blue decks nowadays have counter spells, subtleties, dress downs from like, and on top of that instant speed removal, leyline binding, solitude. So Cavern of Souls doesn't actually successfully stop them from interrupting you, while Defense Grid does. But like actually the most important matchup for Defense Grid is Rhinos. Wonder if Living End should board in Endurance versus Amulet to fight the discard monster's plan. I did, yeah. But very few gamers are actually gonna do that. Most people are kind of scared to board in their Endurance. But I think you should probably board in like 2. But also depends, like, because some people just are not gonna see or not gonna go for the like discard a monster line. But me personally against Living End, sometimes I skip like 2 turns. It works game 1, really not game 2, but I did have games where I just skipped 2 turns on the play to put a Titan into the graveyard once I realized around Living End. But yeah, Defense Grid works against all the interaction and actually covers all of the interaction that's problematic. So like it helps against Force of Vigor, Subtlety, Dress Down, Counterspell, and Removal. So it's pretty great because it just covers like all of the possible issues. Herbata? No herbatkę się pije.